Sports presents Benning Bites with Damon Benning. Benning Bites with Damon Benning.
Another episode of Benning Bites. We appreciate you fine folks being a part of what we do over here at Hurrdat Sports, and in particular, Coffee and Cream. My man Andrew Rogers, fresh off a day back. Tune in. The show will start here shortly. A lot to get to. Who knows what we'll get to. Recapping Nebraska, Minnesota. The Big Ten play gets started. Playing games, right? How difficult is it to be on the outside looking in of a conference tournament knowing you got to play that extra game? We'll get to that. And where did we land the plane on the quarterback schedules of when to get paid? Couple of big guys coming up that are high caliber quarterbacks, in particular Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence. And how does that fit? Fresh on the heels of the franchise tag deadline being up. It's a lot, man. I mean, we got into some fantastic conversations yesterday about, and I've got a DM from a young lady that I think a lot of you maybe feel you just haven't quite come out and said. And she says, hey, I can't quite seem to shake the fluff of what's going on with this staff, right? The fluff. Whether it's the tug of war, the mat drills, the fireman's carry, I totally get it. And my safe answer is I can't tell you really how to think because I get it. Like I more than understand, okay, this is too good to be true. I mean, this staff started off talking about two-back run game, fullbacks, and tight ends in the walk-on program, right? Like, if we go all the way back to the original pressers, when these coaches first started talking to us, they hit all the buzzwords, all of them. And I'm like, these guys are messing with us. Then they hit the state tour. Oh, that's what we wanted. That was too good to be true. And now they're starting to say all the things that we want to hear. And I think sometimes it's just human condition to wait for the other shoe to drop. So you don't have to, and I don't think she's apologizing. She's really wanting some clarification on kind of where I'm coming from. And I think I would simply say this. I talked to BC with Andrew Rogers yesterday about this, where one of the reasons, and maybe it didn't come across as succinctly as I wanted it to, one of the reasons why I feel better about kind of the whole Kool-Aid approach. And remember, I'm a little bit different than Andrew because Andrew wanted Rule from the jump, right? Like, that was his guy. So he's probably more being validated than he is, hey, prove it to me. So for me, I'm probably more of the prove it to me because it kind of came from off my radar, especially when I didn't think that they were going to be able to get the deal done. And I have to make sure I'm not just taking the bait for the fool's gold and potentially setting folks up for failure when it comes time to go to college. So I try to be tough. But I asked BC, I said, how much of what Coach Rule and this staff says about how they want to run this program is applicable to more than just football? How much of it is, you know what, I take that in my household. Hey, I take that at my place of business. Hey, that's what I want wherever it is that I spend the bulk of my time. And that's kind of how I've kind of rationalized this in my head because there are so many life qualities that he's talking about that I want in something other than just at the University of Nebraska. Now, the fact that it happens to be at the University of Nebraska, hey, listen, zero complaints for me, especially as alum, right? If I want it for my family, I definitely want it for the University of Nebraska, right? And so that's kind of how I buoy it. But it's a legit concern. It's a legit thought process. I think it's healthy, right? I think I always subscribe to have people be independent, free thinkers, use context clues, deductive reasoning, formulate your own opinions, and have it be based on things that you've seen and heard. So I don't slap the wrist of anybody that isn't fully invested, because I think at the end of the day, man, you want to see wins, and I do too. Doesn't mean it can't be good stuff in the meantime. So feel free. You're okay wrestling with that idea, right? However you get us, make sure you continue to do so. Whether it's Apple, Google, Spotify, it's 590. Just turn the dial. If you're in Lincoln and it's after 9, it's KFOR. Maybe it's YouTube television. We're giving you every option to be a part of what we do. We appreciate you. Make sure that you tune in and hear just a few minutes of Coffee and Cream. Give my man Andrew Rogers a follow at Andrew Rogers TV. Let's grow this thing together. In the words of Sister Sledge, we are family. It's Benning Bites.